Now on CoastTV News.
Guilty on all 34 counts. That's the verdict a jury agreed upon today in the hush money case of former President Donald Trump. Now Americans are asking, what's next?
Respect the verdict. Former Maryland Governor Hogan, current Senate candidate, taking a much different stance than many of his fellow Republicans.
Car registration fees going up by a lot. How much more Marylanders have to pay starting soon.
First responders in Ocean City picking up more hours, how the town is paying for their service.
And Mother Nature will be dialing up some sunny days for us here on the coast. I'll show you just how long that sunshine call for clear skies will last.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
A historic verdict. Former President Donald Trump has been convicted by a jury of his peers. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight focused on former President Donald Trump.
Reaction to former President Trump's felony conviction is rippling across the country.
Mr. Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in connection with a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels near the end of the 2016 presidential campaign. Now
both political parties looking ahead to the 2024 presidential election, using the verdict as a campaign rally cry. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
From a Manhattan courtroom to Capitol Hill and the campaign trail, reaction is pouring in to former President Trump's criminal conviction.
I mean, he had all the money in the world to defend himself, and he was still found guilty from his peers, and that's the way it should be.
It's a bunch of hooey. I'm going to vote for Trump either way.
The former president putting the focus directly on the November election.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
The Biden campaign making a similar point, noting that while the conviction shows no one is above the law, quote, there is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. New polling out just before the verdict shows roughly 2/3 of Americans surveyed said a conviction would make no difference in their vote.
I think it's going to boost his numbers.
Republican lawmakers rallying around their presidential candidate. House Speaker Mike Johnson called the charges ridiculous and claimed Mr. Trump had been targeted politically. Senator Tim Scott, a possible pick for vice president, called the trial a sham.
We the people stand with Donald Trump.
The Trump campaign saying their fundraising site crashed in a flood of donations following the verdict. While the Biden campaign hopes the conviction puts a spotlight on Donald Trump as a candidate, quote, breaking the law for his own personal gain. The 2024 election now moving to a new phase. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
President Biden and former President Trump are set to square off in their first debate of this election cycle at the end of June, shortly before Mr. Trump's sentencing date.
If you've been online, if you've been watching on TV, the responses to this trial, you've seen a lot of Republican lawmakers, some in that story there, coming out to deride the verdict. Some like Senator Tim Scott calling it a sham. Others like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson calling it purely political. Former Governor Larry Hogan going a different route. Hogan, who's running for Senate in Maryland as a Republican, tweeted, quote, regardless of the results, I urge all Americans to respect the verdict and the legal process. At this dangerously divided moment in our history, all leaders, regardless of party, must not pour fuel on the fire with more toxic partisanship. We must reaffirm what has made this nation great, the rule of law.
New at 11, the Delaware State Fire Marshal is investigating after a house fire in Millsboro that happened earlier today. Take a look at these photos from the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company. You can see firefighters on scene. They were working at the doorway to this home, which is on Washington Street Extended. The call came in around 11 a.m. from a person cutting the grass. No word yet on a cause or any injuries. Now we're taking a live look outside into Milford. It's cooling off a bit tonight, but overall it was a beautiful day along the coast. So let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, who joins us now with a look at our weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. If you like today, you're going to love what I'm about to tell you about this weekend. And it kicks off as early as Friday. I'll tell you the loveliness of the forecast in just a moment. So our Bay Health camera in Milford, we're at 61 degrees currently with the dew point temperature of 44 with the winds at about 3 miles per hour. Now we're going to drop to 58 degrees by 2 o'clock under mostly clear skies. Now we have live radar. We actually picked up a little random sprinkle that brushed through Salisbury for about a New York second, as they call it. And then it's continued to fall towards 354. But other than that anomaly, odd thing to occur, we're staying pretty clear everywhere else, and that's really pretty much the rule of the rest of the night. We do have a small craft advisory active throughout the entire Chesapeake Bay area, so we're watching out for that. But aside from that, we're staying pretty clear for the rest of the night. Now, coming up, we'll talk about just how wonderfully warm we will be over the weekend. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
Charlie, your golf game is going to love this weekend too, bro.
I like that. If you're driving Maryland for any reason, you do need to pay close attention when you're entering those work zones. The state is upping the penalty for speeding there. Starting June 1st, fines for speeding will double from $40 to $80. This comes from the Maryland Road Worker Protection Act after the March 2023 crash on the Baltimore Beltway that killed 6 workers. More changes are expected to be added next January.
Now to an audit in Ocean City, and you will not believe what it revealed about first responder overtime hours. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us which Ocean City departments were really punching the clock in the first 3 months of 2024 and why.
Ocean City first responders worked a lot this year. According to an audit presented to council, the first 3 months of 2024 had police and fire working hundreds of hours more than the same time last year. Rich Martin, who lives in Ocean City, says overtime is worth whatever it costs.
Overall, I think it's a good thing. I mean, I don't mind paying to have the resources here or the officers present.
When comparing March 2023 to March 2024, the Ocean City Police Department had 720 extra overtime hours. Ocean City Police thinks there's 2 reasons why. 1, court dates that officers were required to attend to for cases. And 2, OCDC says more officers take vacation in the earlier part of the year since they need to be working during the busy season. But Barbara Boris wonders if the overtime is caused by overstaffing.
I think it's excessive when I see somebody pulled over that obviously poses no threat, but 2 or 3 police cars will be on the scene of it, and I wonder if that's the best use of their time.
But not just the police had an increase in overtime hours. The Ocean City Fire Department did too, with 1,510 extra overtime hours compared to March 2023.
The Ocean City Fire Department declined to make a comment right now and are looking further into why those 3 months were increased compared to last year.
When reviewing the audit, one council member expressed concern on why there was such a big jump in overtime and suggested future conversations to find out why and what's next. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how should the town address the issue of rising overtime hours?
Let's take a look at the updated results on your screen here. It's the majority still at hire more staff. That's how they say to address it. That's at 65% right now, while 28% say improve the management. Just 7% of people who voted in the poll say increase the budget.
If you haven't voted yet, it's easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use our Coast TV mobile app. As Ocean City kicks off its summer season, the town reminds visitors about boardwalk rules. Bikes, Class 1 electric bikes, push carts, and electric personal assistive mobility devices like Segways, those are allowed anytime until the Friday before Memorial Day, except during Springfest and Sunfest from 2 a.m. to 12 noon. Class 2 and 3 electric bikes, those are never allowed on the boardwalk. These rules are to help keep everybody safe.
Staying in Ocean City, where they cut the ribbon to the Bayside Park at 3rd Street today, you can explore the new park, which includes a new multi-court surface for both tennis and pickleball, reconstructed basketball courts, and an expanded Ocean Bowl skate park.
I'm Madeline Overturf, and here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. If you own a car in Maryland, it's about to get more expensive. Come July 1st, registration fees will go up to $110 a year, or $220 for 2. Listen to this. Right now, it's only $135 for 2 years. The MBA says the money is needed for infrastructure projects. The Humane Society of Wicomico County says it needs a home for 3 barn cats. These are animals that are meant to live kind of solitary, great for farms or big properties, but you provide them food and water and take care of them like a house cat. Across the bridge, but big for many of our viewers, plans to rebuild the Key Bridge in Baltimore are moving forward. On June 11th, the Maryland Transportation Authority will hold an update for the public to discuss reconstruction, an overview, and resources for future fixes. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
A man has been indicted for murder after a deadly hit-and-run crash in Wicomico County earlier this year. Maryland State Police say 27-year-old Jamal Scarborough of Somerset County swerved to go around a work zone before driving into a ditch where he allegedly ran over a utility worker who was on the ground. Police say 64-year-old Thomas Addix of Dover died a few days later at the hospital. Scarborough is currently being held without bail and faces charges including, but not limited to, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and criminally negligent vehicular manslaughter. We have more news to get into this evening.
Still to come, road closures and traffic news, what drivers need to know so they don't get slowed down or stuck.
And also coming up, the red tape of retiring abroad. It's a growing trend, but it's not quite as simple as you might expect it to be.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Watching out for a chance of rain on Sunday, particularly in Cambridge, as we go from 75, 82 to 79. Listen, we'll have your full sunny forecast for most of the weekend coming up in just 60 seconds.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion power plant. So fast and so convenient. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Look, you can inflate all 4 tires on a single charge. It has a built-in smart pressure digital sensor that gauges and automatically stops when the set tire pressure is reached. Easily inflate pool toys, exercise balls, and more. Call or go online now and get the complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for the factory direct price of just $79.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free, and we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-771-0865. That's 1-800-771-0865 or go to getbullseyepro.com.
We're enjoying clearing skies for now, and we're expecting to stay clear for Friday and for Saturday. But Sunday, well, that's when the worm turns, so to speak. We'll get to that in just a moment. So, our dry tech camera in Ocean City, holding at 66 degrees, with the winds out of the southwest at about 6 miles per hour. Now we'll drop from 63 down to 61 between 12 and 3 o'clock in the morning, with clearing skies continuing to the pattern that we're expecting in the atmosphere. We are picking up a small little smidgen of rain that pushed across Salisbury just briefly, and that happened right around, let's say between 8 to 9 o'clock. And it's stuck around for about 15 minutes. It's not that big a deal. It's quite an anomaly when you take a look at things overall. We're mainly clear just about everywhere else. You had to be in the exact perfect place for it to even possibly register for you. But with that being the case, we do have concerns for gusty winds along the Chesapeake Bay area. But other than that, we're looking pretty much quiet. And our change in temperature from 24 hours ago, not much of a movement. We're a touch cooler, like between 2 to 3 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago, but that's not a big market difference. So what's happening for Friday? The winds are coming out of the north. We start off at 60 degrees along the shore, but 51 in the inland areas, but sunshine for both locations. Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, we'll go up to 67 in Dewey Beach, but 73 in Rehoboth. Kind of depends on which beach you're at, okay? But we're looking for 72 along Highway 113. Saturday morning, we start off at 53 degrees in Milton, Georgetown, and Milford. But by Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, we'll have 79 degrees in Milton and Georgetown, but also 79 degrees in Rehoboth Beach, but 68 Dewey Beach. Sunday morning, we become very cloudy after that, okay? And we set up for the possibility of rain. The most southern portions of our viewing area, from Ocean Pines down to Chincoteague, over towards Princess Anne, and then Salisbury, winds are out of the north at 6 o'clock, 53 degrees. Friday evening, we go into the 70s, all right? Saturday, we wake up to 53, 54 degrees, still bright and sunny. But then Saturday at 3 o'clock, 3:30, we're going to have 80s throughout most of the inland areas and 70s along the shore. 70 in Ocean City, 72 in Chincoteague. And then Sunday in the early morning hours, the cloud cover will thicken there as well, setting up for a chance of rain. So as you take a look at the 3-day beach forecast, Chincoteague and Assateague, we're not necessarily looking for the rain there. Sunday's looking like temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, but just partly to mostly cloudy skies. We become cloudier as we go farther north. So we become cloudier on Sunday, Fenwick Island and Ocean City. But you notice Friday and Saturday, we're not even talking about that because those are 2 days, sunny days. You can mark them down in your planner, okay? Then as we go up towards, let's say Lewis and Rehoboth Beach, we're looking at an enhanced chance of moisture here. But by Sunday at about 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's going to click over to about a good chance of some scattered showers. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. To be honest, even that rain on Sunday, I call it iffy because it's really going to happen right after about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. And even that's only about a 40 to 50% chance. But after that, we go into a tear of next week of temperatures in the 80s, partly sunny skies, and no problem with no rain.
Thank you, Paul. It's no secret that we have a lot of retirees here along the coast, but it turns out that a lot of Americans are actually leaving the states behind altogether in their golden years.
And as good as it sounds to retire on a white sand beach or enjoy gelato in a piazza, the simple life may actually include a lot of red tape. Ivan Rodriguez has the details.
Over the last 30 years, the number of Americans looking to settle outside of the United States has tripled, according to a 2024 Monmouth poll.
It's more affordable than it used to be.
The number of Social Security recipients living outside of the country increased from 307,000 in 2008 to more than 450,000 in 2022, leading some countries to ease visa requirements to attract foreign retirees.
Retirees from the U.S. often bring with them money that can help support the local economy.
Jennifer Stevens of International Living says expats can find a range of benefits in overseas retirement.
The pace of life can be a lot slower in a lot of other countries than it is in the United States. That because the cost of healthcare is so much lower in a lot of other countries, people have the flexibility to sort of, breathe a sigh of relief and relax.
But getting to the simple life can be complicated. Lori Trowinski of AARP suggests people think about estate planning, currency, taxes, and their investments before making the leap.
Tax prep is very important. Planning for medical care is important. Planning for legal situations is also important.
And if you can get through the administrative hassle, Stephen says the most successful expats keep an open mind.
You have to go with the idea that it is an adventure, and you need to be open to the fact that no place is going to be just like the United States.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
In traffic news, DelDOT has announced Gravel Hill Road is closing between Dock Frame and Route 24 in Millsboro. The road will be closed June 3rd to the 5th for the installation of a crossroad pipe.
And here's another road closure to keep in mind. If you're a driver in Milford, look out for this. North Walnut Street, it's going to be closed next week. That's happening from June 3rd to June 7th between Route 113 and Buccaneer Boulevard. The closure is needed for water main work.
Rough week? Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. Lighten up your week. Just subscribe to the Coast TV Feel Good Friday newsletter. Sign up now. You can do it. It's free on coasttv.com/sign up and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox. Coming up next, a Veterans Information event. Milton Public Library isn't just a place to find books. It is a site for our hometown heroes to get help.
Hear that sizzle? That's not just the sound of McDonald's sausage about to make someone's day. It's also your delicious wake-up call.
It's one sizzling deal. Get 2 sausage McGriddles, sausage biscuits, or sausage burritos for just $3.33.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
America's favorite car show makes its Dover debut with cool cars, cool people, and good time. It's the first ever Good Guys First Grundy Insurance Mid-Atlantic National, and it's all happening June 7th through the 9th at Dover Motor Speedway. Check out over 2,000 of the Northeast's baddest classics on display. And don't miss Good Guys CPP Autocross racing action, a tire smoke and burnout competition, Nitro Thunderfest, a huge swap meet and vendor midway, live music, and so much more. And it's all going down June 7th through the 9th at Dover Motor Speedway. Get details at good-guys.com.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
It's a fan-favorite family affair.
They're family members that played the game at different times, and we've brought them together. I don't see a lot of quiet family dinners.
Friday at 7 on Coast TV.
Next Jeopardy, she's serious about fitness.
At this point, I can squat 1.5 times my body weight and deadlift twice.
That's exciting. But can she muscle through to a win?
Wow! Friday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
The perfectly melted cheese, the juicier patty, the golden bun. It's all here. Rubble, rubble. Well, it was a second ago.
Now that's a steal. Grab a medium double cheeseburger meal for just $6.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Keeping up with our hometown heroes, the Milton Public Library will be holding a Veterans Information event. Veterans can get help with health care enrollment and eligibility, as well as with Veteran Benefit Administration, disability claims, and filing. That's all happening this Friday, tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Speaking of veterans, officials across the aisle are urging the House Committee on the Transportation and Infrastructure to approve a resolution that would grant the medical leases for Veteran Affairs medical centers in Sussex County. With an estimated more than 68,000 veterans living in Delaware, the goal is to have a more modern and well-staffed VA medical center, especially one that reaches Delaware's rural communities in Sussex County to provide quality care for service members and veterans all across the first state.
If you love fishing, here's something to get excited about. June 1st through the 9th is National Fishing and Boating Week. In celebration, DNREC has designated June 1st and 2nd as free fishing days when anyone can fish without a fishing license. Young fishers ages 16 and up must still obtain a free fin number to participate this weekend.
Coming up in sports, trip to the state finals, hang in the balance on Delaware Diamonds. Find out which local squads are celebrating tonight.
Plus, summer body insecurities. Everyone wants to feel confident when beach season hits. The tips from a psychologist to help you feel good as you step on the sand.
And if you happen to hit your golf ball in the sand, you'll have clear weather to go ahead and wedge it out, so to speak. Did I say that right, Charlie? Wedge it out? Close enough. Anyway, it's going to be excellent anyway. Tons of sun, light wind, 76 degrees. Excellent.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on Coast TV.
The Memorial Day sales event is here with more inventory, more savings, and more reasons to buy. Get a great deal on the tough, powerful, innovative Ford F-150. There's more to love and more ways to save during the Memorial Day sales event. But hurry, it all ends June 3rd. Now get 1.9% financing for 72 months on F-150 and F-150 Lightning, only at your local Ford dealer.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can hack your information without you even knowing. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash protected. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from stealing your info. It's ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. With the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to fit your additional cards and cash. Call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-613-4296. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-613-4296 now.
On the next, Tamron Hall, are dating apps dead? She says things have gotten so bad she had to delete all of her dating apps multiple times. And he was so disappointed with online dating, he created an app where you can match with only him. I'm number 71 on your dating list. Plus, is it true that some apps are hiding their best singles behind a paywall?
What it will do is hide people that they know you're interested in.
The shocking truth, next, Tamron Hall.
Friday at 3 on Coast TV.
Prepare for an adrenaline rush like never before. Delmarva Sports Network is your destination for all the heart-pounding action of spring sports. From breathtaking strikeouts to awe-inspiring goals. Dive into the world of baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, and girls soccer. DSN, where hometown heroes transform into legends and where champions are forged. Don't miss a single moment of unforgettable action. Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams.
Tidal Health is celebrating cancer survivors across Delmarva. An upcoming event will include refreshments, giveaways, and butterfly releases. On Monday, you can celebrate in Seaford from 9 to 11 a.m. On Tuesday, there will be 2 celebrations in Salisbury from 9 to 2 and from 4 to 5:15 p.m. The celebration continues Wednesday in Berlin from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 to 2 p.m.
You might have seen this. A recent study found daily use of marijuana actually surpassed daily use of alcohol in the U.S., but it's replacing booze with bud. Is that a healthier option? Well, experts say it depends. Studies have shown just 1 drink a day can raise blood pressure, trigger irregular heartbeats, and even shrink your brain. Meanwhile, the CDC says using cannabis before the age of 25 can damage young people's brains, wreak havoc on their ability to learn, remember, solve problems, and pay attention. Studies also show when smoked weed can raise the risk of stroke, heart attack, and lung cancer. But there are a lot of ways to consume marijuana, including edibles, lotions, and other means. Now research into those methods are in their infancy, health impacts unclear, but do expect to hear more about that, especially if the drug is officially rescheduled, something that the Biden administration is pushing. That would open up research opportunities.
As the weather warms up, shorts, swimsuits, and other summer clothing, it all comes out.
For those that struggle with body image, this can be a tough part of the year.
In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips from a psychologist on how to overcome body insecurities this summer.
On social media or in person, this time of year it can be easy to compare our bodies to others.
During the summertime, our culture pressures us to feel anxious about how we look.
Psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says terms like beach body or bikini body perpetuate the myth that there's only one acceptable body type.
And it widens the gap between the expectation of what we think we should look like and the reality that there are many different body types and shapes of people enjoying the beach.
To overcome body insecurities, Alberts says to ditch the diets, instead focus on healthy eating and avoid negative self-talk that can make matters worse.
Our bodies are listening, and when we talk about our bodies in a critical way, it drags down our self-esteem and it robs us of the opportunity to enjoy all the fun and wonderful things that summer brings.
Next, take a break from social media. Albert says filtered pictures and other posts flood feeds, putting pressure on people to look a certain way that can be damaging and unattainable. So limit your time scrolling or follow positive body accounts. Finally, she says to find a swimsuit that suits you, one that makes you feel good.
When we feel comfortable, we radiate this out into the world and we can have fun.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
More state semifinal action in Delaware, this time on the diamond. We start in baseball with Caesar Rodney and Sussex Tech. It was a pitcher's duel throughout. No score into the 6th inning, but the Riders break through first thanks to the bat of William Lorenz. The sophomore knocks in the only run of the day to propel the Riders to a 1-0 nail-biter victory. It's the first state title appearance for CR since 1994 and just their 5th in team history. They'll take on Salesianum in the championship game on Saturday. And in the softball semis, number 5 Laurel against number 1 Caravel. And early on, the Bulldogs came out with the big swings, launching balls to the fence, and those bombs led Laurel to a 2-1 lead heading into the 6th inning. But that's when Caravel got going. A 4-run 6 for the Buccaneers vaulted them ahead for good. A heartbreaking end to a fantastic run by the Bulldogs this season. Caravel heads back to their 5th straight state championship game. They'll take on Sussex Central in the final for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. The Golden Knights looking to win this matchup for the first time in the trilogy. Make sure to follow along with all of our state championship coverage over the weekend. Softball tomorrow, then baseball and boys lacrosse on Saturday. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
On Coast Life, meet our adorable pet of the week and discover how you can give them a forever home. Plus, get the latest on the current real estate market and learn about an upcoming community event to raise awareness about mental health issues. Tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's Coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coastwide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health.
Life is all about choices.
And on Delmarva, we know you have a lot of country music stations to choose from.
Well, at Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3, we believe we do more of what you want.
And playing stuff that we love too, like Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen?
Lainey Wilson.
Lainey Wilson.
Plus all the good stuff too, Reba, Brooks and Dunn, Garth, and all the classics in between.
So we're issuing the Coast Country Challenge.
Tune us in for a week and we're sure when you'll accept the challenge,
you'll feel Delmarva proud too.
Surfing event series is riding the wave to Ocean City next weekend, but there's more here to catch than just a wave. Red Bull Foam Wreckers Soft Top Surf will be in town on June 8th. Organizers say surfers can only use foam or soft top surfboards. They'll spin a wheel to determine which model board they'll be using. Then 6 to 10 surfers, all on different boards, will paddle out. Prizes will be given for the most creative, sportive moves. Sign-ups are still open and surfers of all levels are eligible.
Even those that can't?
Yes.
All right. Our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury, 65 degrees with winds out of the north, but still staying relatively calm, looking to drop to 56 degrees with clear skies for tonight. Guess who our umbrella winner is tonight? It's Stacy Knapp of Georgetown. Glad that you could. Hey, if you enter, we're still giving these things away, by the way. Well, and they're good umbrellas. Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Ocean City is sponsoring our 5-day UV index. We're still at a level 9 for Friday, Saturday. Sunday, we dip a little bit because Sunday's when we're expecting a chance of rain. You can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by Baird, Mandalis, Brudstedt, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. Sunny on Friday, great on Saturday, rain Sunday night.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.